When a woman is allowed to become a man's equal, she becomes his superior. God does not deal directly with men. It is by means of spirits that all the intercourse and communication of gods with men, both in waking life and in sleep, is carried on. Where there is reverence, there is fear, but there is not reverence everywhere that there is fear, because fear presumably has a wider extension than reverence. All things in moderation, including moderation. Athletics have become professionalized. The nearest way to glory, a shortcut, as it were, is to strive to be what you wish to be thought to be. In every sort of danger there are various ways of winning through if one is ready to do and say anything whatever. Our purpose in founding the city was not to make any one class in it surpassingly happy, but to make the city as a whole as happy as possible. I will not yield to any man contrary to what is right, for fear of death, even if I should die at once for not yielding. The soul, like the body, accepts by practice whatever habit one wishes it to contact. There is a doctrine whispered in secret that a man is a prisoner who has no right to open the door and run away. This is a great mystery which I do not quite understand. The difficulty, my friends, is not in avoiding death, but in avoiding unrighteousness, for that runs faster than death. The body cannot be cured without regard for the soul. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. Has a philosopher like you failed to discover that our country is more to be valued and higher and holier far than mother or father or any ancestor, and more to be regarded in the eyes of the gods and of men of understanding? The beginning of wisdom is a definition of terms. The years wrinkle our skin, but lack of enthusiasm wrinkles our soul. To express oneself badly is not only faulty as far as the language goes, but does some harm to the soul. Are not all things which have opposites generated out of their opposites? They are not only idle who do nothing, but they are idle also who might be better employed. If he who does not know kept silent, discord would cease. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. There is no illness of the body except for the mind. Virtue does not come from wealth, but wealth and every other good thing which men have comes from virtue. Wars and revolutions and battles are due simply and solely to the body and its desires. All wars are undertaken for the acquisition of wealth, and the reason why we have to acquire wealth is the body, because we are slaves in its service. If a man is proud of his wealth, he should not be praised until it is known how he employs it. Beauty comes first. Victory is secondary. What matters is joy. May I consider the wise man rich, and may I have such wealth as only the self-restrained man can bear or endure. You are wrong, sir, if you think that a man who is any good at all should take into account the risk of life or death. He should look to this only in his actions, whether what he does is right or wrong, whether he is acting like a good or a bad man. The heart of the person before you is a mirror. See there your own form. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Marry or marry not. In either case you'll regret it. My divine sign indicates the future to me. Not I, but the city teaches. I have good hope that there is something remaining for the dead. Happiness is unrepented pleasure. If one knows what is right, he will do it. Nobody wants to be evil. Obscurity is dispelled by ornamenting the light of discernment, not by attacking the darkness. It is a disgrace to grow old through sheer carelessness before seeing what manner of man you may become by developing your bodily strength and beauty to their highest limit. I know you will not believe me, but the highest form of human excellence is to question oneself and others. Children today are tyrants. They contradict their parents, gobble their food, and tyrannize their teachers. Marry a good woman and be happy the rest of your life, or marry a bad and become a good philosopher. It is best and easiest not to discredit others, but to prepare oneself to be as good as possible. Every action has its pleasures and its price. I call that man idle who might be better employed. The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. Bad men live that they may eat and drink, whereas good men eat and drink that they may live. All thinking begins with wondering. No man undertakes a trade he has not learned, even the meanest, yet everyone thinks himself sufficiently qualified for the hardest of all trades, that of government. One cannot come closer to the gods than by bringing health to his fellow man. I love to go and see all the things I am happy without. Though flattery blossoms like friendship, yet there is a vast difference in the fruit. The tongue of a fool is the key of his counsel, which, in a wise man, wisdom hath in keeping. To fear death, gentlemen, is no other than to think oneself wise when one is not, to think one knows what one does not know. Worthless people live only to eat and drink. People of worth eat and drink only to live. In my investigation in the service of the God, I found that those who had the highest reputation were nearly the most deficient, while those who were thought to be inferior were more knowledgeable. I swear it upon Zeus, an outstanding runner cannot be the equal of an average wrestler. An honest man is always a child. He who has lived as a true philosopher has reason to be of good cheer when he is about to die, and that after death he may hope to receive the greatest good in the other world. The man who is truly wise knows that he knows very little. One ought not to return injustice, nor do evil to anybody in the world, no matter what one may have suffered from them.